Season 2 ended with Jin Woo winning the Jeju Island battle, bringing Cha back to life, and getting a powerful new summon, Beru. Some people still complained, but he ignored them and planned to start his own guild. Meanwhile, his father and other mysterious people were watching from the shadows. Later, he easily defeated a red gate, while Cha wished to become stronger. But for Jin Woo, the fight never stops, leading to even bigger battles ahead. The Season 3, Episode 1 begins with a man looking scared as he faces a dark, shadowy figure. He demands to know who it is, but the creature ignores him, saying the people they are looking for are still hiding. It mentions two powerful leaders, the King of Snowfolk and the Monarch of Frost. Yogot tells Sillid about East Island, hinting that an attack is coming soon. Sillid realizes they plan to attack the Shadow Monarch's land and asks what they are up to. Yogot assures him that their army will be sent to the south of the island soon. He also reveals that a strong and powerful force, one of the greatest fragments of light, has been found there. Sillid understands why Yogot is sharing this, but before they can talk more, he senses someone nearby. That person is furious, realizing they are talking about Korea. Sillid doesn't care and challenges him. The man attacks, but Sillid easily blocks it with an ice shield and fights back with a strong counterattack, causing a huge explosion. Meanwhile, at the Red Gate, Jin Woo is fighting the dungeon's boss. The giant monster admits that Jin Woo is strong but thinks his journey ends here. Expecting an ambush, it calls for its hidden army to attack, but nothing happens. Confused, the boss realizes something is wrong. Then, Jin Woo's shadow soldiers appear, holding the severed heads of the enemy's army. The boss panics and tells its remaining soldiers to fight, but they are no match for Jin Woo's powerful army. As his soldiers take down the enemies, Jin Woo moves toward the boss, clearing a path. Angry, the boss rushes at him, but before it can reach him, Beru and Igris strike first, cutting off its limbs and making it fall. Before it can fight back, Tusk uses his power to hold it down. With the monster trapped, Jin Woo demands answers, but he suspects the system is blocking him from learning the truth. He decides he will figure it out later. Then, he takes out a key from his inventory, an item he got after reaching level 100 during the Jeju Island raid. The key unlocks a special dungeon, and a countdown timer appears, showing how much time he has before he can enter. He realizes that if the timer runs out, the key will be useless. As he reads the key's details, he remembers the dungeon. It was where everything started. Now, the system is calling him back. But this time, he is much stronger. He wonders if this was all planned, as if something had been waiting for him. Meanwhile, Jinho is at the office, handling complaints from people who are mad about getting sued. Once he finishes, he leans back, feeling good that he has dealt with those who spoke badly about Jin Woo. Just as he relaxes, he senses someone behind him. It's Jin Woo. Surprised, Jinho wonders how his friend always sneaks up on him so quietly. Jin Woo praises him for his hard work and asks if there are any problems. Jinho says everything is fine, but is curious about Jin Woo's unusual outfit. Jin Woo hands him a bag full of magical cores, reminding him that they need money for the guild. Seeing the large amount, Jinho is relieved. They won't have to worry about paying their employees. However, Jinho quickly brings up another issue. They still need one more guild member. While they could recruit anyone, Jin Woo insists they should pick someone truly dedicated. But before that, Jinho says there's something even more important. They need a guild name. Jin Woo doesn't take it seriously, but Jinho insists it's a big deal. He suggests names based on their initials like SU Guild or Wooho Guild. Jin Woo thinks for a moment and then confidently names it Solo Play Guild, saying it fits his style. Jinho isn't impressed and asks if he's joking, but before they can argue, there's a knock on the door. When Jinho opens it, he is shocked to see Hunter Cha standing there. Cha calmly says she wants to join their guild. Jin Woo is surprised and asks if the chairman sent her, or if something happened with Hunter Choi. She says no to both, which makes him even more curious. When he tells her the guild's name, she looks surprised and asks if he's serious. Jin Woo confirms, saying both he and the vice master agreed on it. Jinho immediately argues, saying he never agreed to anything and that his ideas were ignored. He starts to doubt if they should keep the name, feeling overwhelmed by everything happening. Jin Woo looks at Cha closely and notices something. Her breathing and expression seem normal, but she's trying hard to stay calm. Something is bothering her. He directly asks why she wants to join. Since she's been a hunter for 2 years, he figures she must still have a contract with the Hunter Guild. She admits she does, but says she's willing to pay the penalty fee herself. Jin Woo is surprised by how determined she is, and points out that their guild isn't rich enough to support someone of her level. but she reassures him. She doesn't need any payment either. Curious, Jin Woo asks again. If she has nothing to gain, why does she want to join? Cha hesitates, struggling to explain. She knows her reason will sound strange. At first, she was just drawn to his mana, which felt different from other hunters. But during the Jeju Island raid, something changed. She truly thought she was going to die. A flashback shows the moment she woke up after the Jeju Island raid. Confused, she asks the chairman where they are. He tells her they just landed at the Hunter Association, and that she and the others will be taken to the hospital soon. She then asks if Jin Woo was the one who saved them from the monster, and the chairman confirms it. Realizing it wasn't just a dream, Cha is shaken. She nearly died, and the thought of going through that again scares her. Back in the present, she still struggles to explain her feelings. Blushing, she thinks about how she wants to stay by Jin Woo's side. Jin Woo notices her nervous expression and wonders what she's hiding. When she finally speaks, she simply says she wants a peaceful life. Jin Woo understands. Being an S-rank hunter must be exhausting, and after everything that happened on Jeju Island, it makes sense that she wants a change. He then tells her that joining the guild requires passing a test. Cha is surprised, saying there was no mention of a test in the recruitment notice. Jin Woo casually blames it on a new rule that the vice master forgot to include. Then, he sends Jin Ho to get drinks and snacks before explaining the test. She has to fight one of his summons. Cha looks annoyed and asks if he really thinks she's that weak. She demands to know which summon she'll face. Jin Woo, smiling, tells her she'll be fighting his strongest one. The match is set to begin right away. Jin Woo suggests using the Hunter Association's gym, but instead of walking there, he wants to test something. He moves closer to Cha and says they need to stay close for a moment. Before she can react, darkness surrounds them both as he activates Shadow Exchange. Meanwhile, Jin Ho returns to the office with snacks, only to find a huge high orc standing in Jin Woo's place. They stare at each other in awkward silence before the orc casually takes the food from Jin Ho's hands and eats it in one bite. Back at the gym, Cha is shocked. They just teleported. Jin Woo, pleased with the result, realizes that Shadow Exchange works even when carrying another person. With that confirmed, he tells her it's time to start. Cha suddenly remembers she left her weapon behind, but when Jin Woo jokingly asks if she meant her pickaxe, she quickly corrects him. She heads to the storage room to find a replacement. The weapons there aren't great, but they'll do for training. She picks a sword and steps back onto the battlefield. Jin Woo asks if she'll be okay without her usual weapon, but she shrugs it off, saying that monsters never let hunters fight on their own terms anyway. Jin Woo, impressed by Cha's mindset, decides an ordinary soldier won't be enough for this fight. Instead, he summons Igris, his best swordsman. He explains that the match will end when Cha either defeats the summon or surrenders. Though he promised to use his strongest summon, he knows Beru would be too much for her. Just before they start, Jin Woo remembers Cha's words about weapons not mattering. To make things more interesting, he takes out the Demon King's longsword and gives it to Igris. As the match begins, Igris swings the sword, releasing a wave of electricity. Cha reacts quickly, dodging just in time. Jin Woo watches closely, noting her incredible speed and skill. If she were an average hunter, a single hit would have been enough to defeat her. Their intense battle attracts attention. Chairman Go Gun Hee, hearing the noise, checks the gym's CCTV footage. Seeing Jin Woo and Cha sparring, he recalls how shaken she was when she found out Jin Woo saved her. Realizing what's happening, he smiles, shuts off the cameras, and logs it as an inspection day. Moments later, a tremor shakes the building, proof that the two are pushing their limits. Back in the gym, Jin Woo is surprised. Cha has defeated Igris. She insists he summon his strongest soldier, determined to challenge herself further. Jin Woo warns her about the risk, but she remains confident. He then calls forth Beru, knowing that even though shadow soldiers are weaker than their original selves, Beru was created to hunt and kill hunters. If he fights seriously, Cha has no chance. As Beru steps forward, Jin Woo instructs him to defeat Cha without harming her. Beru obeys, but releases a powerful mana wave, shattering the gym's lights and windows. Cha immediately senses his overwhelming strength. When he fully transforms, Jin Woo reminds him to hold back. Beru complies, and the fight begins. Cha launches an attack, but before she can land a hit, Beru moves behind her in an instant. Recognizing his tactic, she tries to counter, but he easily catches her sword mid-air. Confident, he releases it and continues dodging her attacks effortlessly. Then, with a powerful roar, he sends her flying backward. Jin Woo assumes the fight is over, but Cha refuses to give up. As Beru prepares another attack, his instincts kick in. He sees her as prey resisting a predator. Determined, Cha channels all her mana into one final strike, managing to pierce Beru's exoskeleton. Both Jin Woo and Beru are surprised. However, the attack triggers something buried deep within Beru, an old command to annihilate all enemies. For a brief moment, he no longer sees Cha as a sparring partner, but as a threat that must be eliminated. Jin Woo quickly realizes the danger. Beru, unresponsive to orders, prepares to strike. Seeing no escape, Cha closes her eyes, accepting her fate. Before Beru can attack, an explosion erupts. When Cha opens her eyes, she sees Jin Woo standing in front of her.